Perfect.
Welcome, everybody. This is T Transitions Podcast, where women share their journeys of building life abroad. I'm Rosie.
Hi, I'm Farah Baker.
Hi, I'm Barbora. Nice to see you. Well, I don't see you, but yeah, nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you. So, how about this? Let's jump in and let us figure what Barbora is all about. Have at it, Barbora. Give us a snippet of your background.
Well, so my background is I have studies in psychology, but throughout my studies, I have found what is called like non-formal education training, and I have really fell in love with that. And thanks to that, I have also gotten into the coaching sphere, so I'm really combining all of those in my work.
Mhm.
Whilst at the same time, I'm not just my work, but I'm a dancer. I love improv acting as well.
Oh,
I like to say I'm an artist, so yeah, I'd
uh-huh.
say that. And I
Love
love
that.
You
community building too. Yeah,
okay?
so
So you are very much a creative person, apart from your career. Now,
yeah.
where are you located right now?
So I'm located between Spain and Czech Republic. Czech
Mm-hmm.
Republic is where I'm originally from, and Spain
Mhm.
is where I live. Right now I'm in Czech Republic. So
Okay. So,
Nice.
your home base is Spain.
correct.
Okay. Okay.
Valencia for
Oh, in
now.
Valencia.
But
Nice,
I'm a
nice.
traveler, so that might change.
Sounds like us.
Yep. Yep.
So now,
Absolutely.
could you explain to us now, you say you do coaching. Is this live coaching?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's mindset coaching. I coach a lot about like how to build your community, especially as an expat. So I focus a lot on expats as an expat myself.
Mm-hmm.
That has been a natural progression for me. And I help with like identity because that's a big topic as an expat and
Mm-hmm.
community. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the transition in your life that shaped you to where you are today and what you do?
You mean how I became a psychologist or an
No,
expat?
as in going into deep outreach to the community and do what you're doing as a life coach.
I think that has been my personal experience, to be honest, because
Mm.
when I was 19, I really wanted to leave my country. And so I went to the UK to study.
Mm-hmm.
And whilst my sister lived in the UK and she still lives there in London, I was like, no, I think I actually want to go somewhere where I'll be completely alone. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to figure it out. Like my idea was to move somewhere where I'm alone and figure out what to do. And it was
Mm-hmm.
so hard. Like I
Mm.
realized I never learned how to make friends, and suddenly I have to learn all of that because there
Uh-huh.
was nobody that I knew.
Okay.
So that was that experience. And also like finding out what I want to do in life because
Mm-hmm.
I was riding horses when I was in Czech Republic and I used to have a horse.
Mm.
And that took all of my time, to be honest, because like taking
Mm.
care of an animal takes a lot of
Mm.
your time.
Yep.
So when I came to UK, I was like, wow, I don't have horses here. So what do I even want to do in my spare
Yeah.
time when I'm not
Mm-hmm.
studying? So
Mm-hmm.
I picked up dance and wow, I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a deep exploration. So I think going
Mm.
through that it just shaped me into who I am today. And I want to bring that to other people too. Because if there was someone who was helping me along the way, it
Mm.
would be so much easier
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
that means through your own personal experience, you realize there is a niche there and that would help someone else, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also through talking to all the people that I met along the way. Like
Mm.
most of my friends are expats too, like are foreigners that came from one country to another country. And all of us are struggling with the same things.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Now,
How
when
what
you go ahead.
sorry. What do you think has your cultural background kind of influenced the way how you approach the change and the resilience?
Hmm. That's a good question. So my background, well, both of my parents are from Czech Republic, but they're
Hmm.
both very open-minded in the sense that they were born where there was still communism, so they
Mm.
lived through that era.
Hmm.
But then when they were in their study years, so like around my age, the communism has gone away, so like
Yeah.
it's been lifted. So they had the chance to travel a lot, and they took on that chance, and they've traveled the world, both of them. So
Mhm.
they have that like that mindset, that broad mindset as well. So they
Openness. Yeah.
have taught me that as well. So I think resilience was in it already
Yeah.
because of the culture of my country when my parents were born, and then
And it's
also
in
their
your
life
gene.
experiences.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
also in your vein, in your blood. You
Yeah,
know.
every time they say like, "Oh, but you're all of you, like all of the children we're
Mm.
away from home," and I'm like, "Well, but that's your fault." I mean,
I love that.
Yes. Well, they empowered you and gave you that opportunity, you know, and the fact that they travel and have widened their own mindset has developed into,
Yeah.
you know, and passed it on to their children, which is you guys, you know.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now, coming back to the work that you actually do, now your own experience showed you that there was a necessity and there was room for, as an expatriate, to be able to help someone else. Now, what form does that come in? How do
So
you help them?
the form I love the most are group trainings or like workshops, events. I like to call it experience too.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have a specific topic. And because
Mm.
I'm an experiential trainer, I love to teach through experience. Literally, that's
Mhm.
what it is. So
Yes.
people would come together and we would do activities that are inspired by psychology, art, improv, acting. All
Mm.
like I take inspiration in a lot of fields in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I really love to use that because I think words in itself are like they're nice and they're powerful, but it's not all there is. So I really
Mm.
like to bring that like bodily experience for people
Mm.
to help and understand themselves better. And why I love groups is because I feel like we can also learn from each other.
Yes.
I also do one-on-one in coaching, which is much more intense. And I love to bring that experiential mindset to that as well. So I don't just do like questions and answers as like a lot of people would imagine coaching. For me, it's again a lot of activities and a lot of challenges as well. So it's very proactive kind of
Mm.
coaching, I'd
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
So,
My light bulb just came on because of the fact you shared that you coach these folks, right? But you personally, how you define healing for yourself?
For myself,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a very good question because I've been in this past year and a half, I have been going through some very challenging health struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, what's healed me the most was really going inside
Mm-hmm.
and like getting to know myself and really learning how to express all of my emotions. Although I always thought I was really good at it. Now
mm,
I'm learning this I can be so much better at it because like I always knew what emotions are and how they feel
Yeah.
and what kind of emotion I'm experiencing, but a lot of the times I would tell myself, but I don't want to be experiencing that emotion. And so I
mm,
would kind of like stop myself from experiencing it, whether now I'm really leaning into experiencing it for real, even if I
Yourself.
don't like having it. Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
So for
Yeah.
me, healing is really about knowing yourself and
Mm,
expressing your true self in the world. Yeah.
mm.
Within the same topic, do you actually preach what you practice? Because as a life coach, right? I I want to look up to my coach and follow, the steps, right? That will be helpful for me. But at the same time too, I'm just curious what you preach. Do you practice that? Do you share that with them?
Yeah, I really believe in the so how to say that, how to frame it. I think for me it's more important than expertise is
Mm,
like experience and like actually doing the thing. So for me, I try to inspire the
mm,
people that I or like guide through like my own actions. So it's not about like I know everything. I would
mm,
never dare to say that I know everything,
mhm. Yeah.
but I am trying to experience it myself so that way I understand it better. So
Mm.
in that way, I would say I practice what I preach
Preach, yeah.
because I would just feel dishonest if I did not.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think it can also bring on imposter syndrome sometimes because then you feel like, oh, but have I experienced it
Yeah.
enough
Mm.
in order to be able to help other people? But yeah, as long as the experience is there, I think that's what counts.
Mm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Now, coming back to your own experiences. So when you came over, your sister was there, and you realized you are not getting the full experience of being on your own. So you relocated. So I assume that was to Spain.
No, so the thing is,
Mm.
I applied for different various universities around the UK, and I was
Mm-hmm.
accepted to one in London, but I
Mm-hmm.
also was accepted to other ones. So when I was deciding where to go, that's where I already decided that I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna go to London
Ah,
because
okay.
my sister was there. But then
Okay.
I don't think I fit into the UK culture.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because I was in Newcastle, I was in the north, and yeah, it's very different than London. I think London is its
Mm-hmm.
own bubble.
Yeah.
But for me, like the northern England vibes, it wasn't really for me. So then I was like, I need something warmer and like where there is more
Mm-hmm.
dance and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I chose Spain.
Okay. Now, when
Excellent.
you arrive in Spain, I assume you don't speak the language. How did you
I
cope?
do actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wrong
Excellent.
assumption, Barbara. I'm sorry. So you do speak the language. That helps a lot. Now, your expatriates that you are trying to coach, do they speak the language, or is that yet another hurdle for them?
Depends.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them do, and some of them don't. Also, I don't only work with people that live in Spain. I would work with people that live in other countries as well. So it really
Mm-hmm.
depends. Also, what country they choose. Like I chose Spain partially also because I already knew the language. Now, did I
Mm,
learn, as in like, did I get much better at Spanish whilst living there? Of course, because
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I always say like, until you immerse yourself, you don't actually
Yes.
know the language at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I had C1 in English when I moved to the UK, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, when I moved there, I was like, this is not the language I was studying. Like, I had to completely relearn English when
Yeah.
I moved to the UK. So, immersing yourself is very important. But
Hmm.
some people do. Some of my expats are actually in Spain. Some of them are from Latin America, for example. So, like, they
Mm-hmm.
actually, their native language is Spanish,
Spanish,
but
yeah.
they're still foreigners in the
Yes.
country. So,
So
yeah.
now, culturally, let's take the Latin Americans, for instance, and they have relocated to Spain. Granted, the language is fine, not an issue. Culturally, it's still very, very different from
Hmm.
being a Latin American and a European. What are the hurdles that you see them going through?
So, a lot of the times is, especially for like South Americans, it can be like the comparison to Spanish and like the shared history they have.
Mm,
Sometimes that is a difficult hurdle to overcome. So kind
mm,
of like sometimes not feeling fully part of the culture,
mm,
because I think maybe for us Europeans, we kind of at least feel like we're European, even if we're in Spain, for example.
mm,
Um, but I mean, they're very warm
Hmm.
cultures, so they don't have problems like going out and making friends. But there
Hmm.
is the problem that a lot of people in Spain specifically experience is there are a lot of it's very easy to go out and connect with people,
mm,
unless you're an introvert, of course. But
mm,
if you do, the problem is different. The problem is that the relationships you create oftentimes are very superficial. So, like, the problems that we would be dealing with is how to actually go from superficial to like to form
mm,
deeper bonds with people. So, like, we really talk about like how to create meaningful relationships, how to have meaningful conversations, how to
mm,
really I like to call it inside out belonging.
Hmm.
So, how
mm.
to belong, knowing yourself first and searching for the people that would click with you, if
Okay,
that
so
makes
looking for
sense.
your tribe,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah,
That
okay.
is like belonging
Mm,
is the biggest theme for expats. Let's
yeah,
face it. I think for
exactly.
True.
everyone, but
That is
Mm,
so
especially
true.
for expats. Yeah.
mhm. Now,
I truly agree.
from your post, we see that you talk about friendships and what kind of friendships and how to know what friendship suits you. Now, why did you pick something like that? Is this in relation to the expatriate lifestyle or in general?
I picked friendship because I think it's undervalued in the society. I think we focus a lot on like romantic relationships, and there's a lot of um, content out there on
Yeah.
that topic. But friendships, I mean, even from literature, like like one of the most dangerous things is loneliness. And so
Mm.
one person, our partner, cannot do everything for us. It's just impossible to expect
Yep.
that from one person. So then friends are the people who take on that role. And you can have different kinds of friendships. You can have friendships where you really share the deepest of yourself. But then you could have friendships that is just a friend group that you go to play volleyball with, for example. So
Mm.
like
Mm.
there are different layers to friendship. And I think
Yep.
it's important to explore all of them and
Mm.
to really create that tribe because we're social animals and we thrive. We
Right.
thrive when we have that sense of like being part of a tribe. And especially as an expat, when you come to a new country, you don't have that support group
Hmm.
because
Yes.
a lot of the times you're alone. So
Mm-hmm.
like if you were to just find a partner, then you have that
Yeah.
just that one person who has to do everything for you, and that is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So that's why friendship is very important, especially
Mm.
as an expat.
It
But again,
it's interesting. Yeah. Mm.
I think
Go
it's
ahead.
for everyone. Yeah,
Oh,
but
yes.
Yes.
as an
Yeah.
expat especially.
Yes, we understand that because that's the theme partly of what we have seen among
Mhm.
our guests as well, because they are expatriates, immigrants to a new country, and that social support is so important. Otherwise, your circle is extremely small, and there have been some of our guests who've gone through divorces because the pressure was too much
I
because of
imagine.
this one on one, and everything was reliant on your partner alone. I mean, I think you spot on. That is exactly core, because if you don't have your social circle or social network or your tribe, your community, it can be very, very lonely, for you
Yeah.
I
to
want
start
to
assimilating.
I want to add a little bit on the same token. I did it for myself too. When my first 10 years when I moved from Singapore to the US, I was so by myself, considered. And I kind of opened up my shell and just reach out to people, outreach them to a point whereby Farah and I came from Singapore. We have never seen each other before up until later. My point being is we need to learn, women especially, need to learn to network and
Yeah.
connect. Because if we don't do that, then we will feel so isolation is
Yeah.
going to break it or make it, kind of. So the topic that we as an expat need to start sharing and emphasize to everybody, you need to network.
Yeah.
Maybe going to play tennis, maybe go to a class with a life coach together, regardless, because then you feel belonging, and then you can then be yourself, to do podcasts or so on and so forth. Relationship
Mm.
building is the key anywhere.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you, Barbara.
And I think on top of that, I would add networking that works for you. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of content out there on networking, and sometimes that networking can be draining for a specific
It's
person.
like
So
working.
Mm-hmm.
really, again, going from inside out is like
Yeah,
what do I want, what works for me, and doing
totally.
that. Yeah,
Mm. It's interesting that you say that, because we've had another guest who deals with more or less the same situation, and it all comes back to your inner self
Mm,
and knowing yourself. And when you relocate to another country, that's when you really know your strength. What you are actually trying to go through by yourself. That's a total reflection and self-reflection into yourself, to realize that, hey, this is a whole new ball game, and
yeah,
I have to roll with it, or keep fighting it.
mm.
And it's very, very difficult, and a lot of times we just hang on. Do you find that in a lot of your clients, in your expats?
yeah. And I also feel like once you go abroad, you can never come back because like something opens
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's no going back to what was
no.
before, right? So suddenly you
Mhm.
have this whole new mindset.
Mm.
Um, And so sometimes it can be difficult to navigate that. Like there was Barbora before I
Mm,
traveled, and now there's Barbora after. And now how do I make sense of all of that? Which is where the
mm.
identity shift comes,
Yeah.
right? So that will be
Yes.
something that we deal with
Mm,
my clients. Yeah. It's like, who
mm.
am I now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I
coming back
want,
to you personally, talking about the identity shift, how are your relationships with people in the Czech Republic now that you have left for a period of time?
That's a great question and something I touch on a lot as well because I feel like I have grown so much. And sometimes when I come back, not everyone,
Mm,
everyone's different, but with some of my friends from childhood, I feel like they still talk about the same things that they have. So I left like 7 years ago, and I feel like we still have the same conversations with them, whether I feel like
mm,
I've outgrown that, like I've
mm,
moved to a completely different place. So sometimes it can be hard to
mhm,
like stay in touch with those people. But I like to call it loyalty friendships.
mm,
So it's like those are the friends that I know that will be there for me even
mm,
in 20 years. Because I just know, like, because we've been through so much together
mhm,
mm,
and we've really built that base. Now, would I become friends with them if we were to meet today?
mhm.
I don't know.
mm,
Because
mm,
now I'm a completely different person than I was when I was uh,
mm.
19 when I left. Yeah,
Yeah.
20.
I want to know if there's something that you're proud of that you don't say out loud often enough through your journey so far. And if so, what would that be?
I think it's the bravery because I think it takes a
Mm.
lot of I think it takes a lot of, well, you would say balls, but I would say ovaries as a woman. It takes a lot of those
You can
in
say
Yeah.
that.
order to make a step like that because
Yeah.
Mm,
it's really scary to go somewhere and have no support.
Yeah.
mm,
So, and I did it twice. And to be honest, like every single time it gets better. Like I know that if I
Mhm.
was to do it now, I could just do it. And it will be so much easier because now I know who I am and what kind of
mm,
friendships I'm looking for and what kind of
mhm,
hobbies I like, etc. The first time I moved, I didn't know any of that.
Mm.
So that is the hard step. And I know some people from Czech Republic, they want to take the step, but they never found the courage to do it. So I think
Right.
if there's one thing that I'm proud of, it's the courage that I did it. Yeah, because that's what that's and yeah, I don't even have words because that step just created my whole life. Like I can't
mm,
even imagine my life without doing
Mm.
that,
yeah.
without moving abroad, you know? Because all
Mhm,
the people that I have in my life now, apart from my family, are thanks to that. Like my
mm.
partner, for example, my experiences, my degree, I have it thanks to taking that
Mhm.
step. So, yeah, definitely the courage to do that.
To start that, yeah.
Well, we are,
One of the points that we point out in our podcast is the fact that women don't support themselves or encourage themselves. Every little thing is like, it's a small achievement. It's They are your
Yeah.
achievements, and you have to congratulate and clap, support yourself for every
Yeah.
achievement. Yeah.
yep.
And every achievement like that is an evidence for you that
Hmm.
you're
Mm.
capable of doing things like that. So like cherish that
Mhm.
evidence and make sure
Yes.
you have it somewhere, even written, like write all of your achievements, which shows how brave you are. Yeah.
And own it.
Yeah. Mm.
Maybe big or small, it's still a reason for you to say, hey, this is what I did. I
Mm.
accomplished this. I own it.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
another comment on that is thanks to like getting to know a lot of people and like sharing your experience, even if you yourself are not able to like see it, those
Mhm.
people will be a mirror and they'll be like, wow, you've been through so much. And then
Mm.
you can reflect back and be like, oh yeah, I have. Like,
Mhm.
so other people are also the way to like help yourself be more brave, as in like help yourself see yourself as someone brave. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Now, you are still very young now. Where do you see yourself in, say, 20 years? Still in Spain, the Czech Republic, or where do you think?
Now that is a question I think I cannot answer. Like, I really don't know.
Or
I
go
really
to
don't know where
Asia,
I'll end up.
or go to Asia, you know, who
Yeah,
knows? Yeah,
I could be anywhere, to be
right,
honest.
Yeah.
right. Because your product is not necessarily timestamp only in one location, right?
Exactly.
It consists of every angles of the universe.
Yeah.
I think bottom line is what you're doing is really powerful, which is expats learning from expats. It starts from there, that topic of discussion. And
Mm.
also, you know, being able to be adaptable of your new environment is also another thing that we have to learn. um, be ballsy, have the ovaries to do it, take the first step. But sometimes we also face challenges. And on the topic of challenge, what do you think is the lesson that you went through that you would like to share with our listeners that you think might be helpful for them as they try to maneuver their life before they take a leap during that journey?
So I don't think this lesson is just connected with traveling. I think
Mhm,
it's also a lesson I've learned when I started building my business. And but with traveling, I think is connected too. And for a lot of people,
mhm,
that is the what stops them. So for me, that has been feeling like I need to be more ready, feeling like I need to know more in order to like become a coach, like that specifically. And for some people, it's like I need more research on which country I want to move to, and I need
Mm.
more money, and I need more that. So for me, the lesson is do it now
mhm.
before you feel like you're ready, because you'll learn along the way, and you'll
Mm.
never like things will never go the way you expect them anyways.
Yeah.
So
Mm. Mm.
just like take the like yeah find the courage to take the step. I
Mm,
think
Yeah.
for me is the lesson, because
Mm.
I have stopped myself so many times in my life.
Mm.
um yeah, so just
I
encouraging
I
people to
agree
do
with you
it.
that, sometimes we put all this in front of ourselves because we are not ready actually. But there is no 100% preparation because things change. And
Yeah.
the first leap, the first step is key to just get yourself out there.
So I think what could help you to navigate that is you just really think of the situation you're in, whether that's moving abroad, whether that's, I don't know, leaving a relationship, things like
Mm.
that, and tell yourself, is the no, is the not wanting to take the step coming because there's danger ahead of me, or because there's discomfort? So
Mm.
I think those are different. Is it because something will actually happen, like it's dangerous and I should really think about it? Or is it because I'm just going to be uncomfortable and that's where the
mhm,
growth is, etc.? If it's just the
Mm.
discomfort, you should take the step
mhm.
because
That's
that's
good.
where you'll grow.
Yeah.
If it's dangerous, then yeah, maybe think about it. But
Yeah.
that has been a guide for me too. Because a lot of the
Mm.
times we think something we shouldn't do something and we're not ready, but it's just that we don't want to face that
Right.
Mm.
discomfort. So,
Yes, yes.
Well,
Complacency. That
there
that
you
happens
go.
to
That's
all
the
of us,
word.
right?
Yep,
yeah.
complacent. Yep. We are close to time, ladies. But one last question. How can our followers and listeners come to you and study what you do? How can they connect with you?
So you can either reach out to me directly, whether through Instagram or Substack, which you should link below, so you can find those
Mhm,
there.
mhm,
Or
Mhm.
if you don't want to get directly in touch, you can also listen to the podcast that I have, which is called Connection Alchemy, and you can find it either on Substack or on Spotify as well. I think on Apple Podcasts. I try to post it everywhere.
mhm.
So you should be able to find that as well, which is yeah, me just having conversations with people, with other
Mhm.
expats, and
I
we'll
have to
on
say,
specific topic always.
your
Yeah.
podcast make me smile, make me laugh. So
Oh,
keep on
really?
doing it, girl. It's good. I love the
Well,
topic.
I'm glad. So have a listen to that, everyone who's
Yeah.
listening. Or if you want to work deeper and you'd like to do one-on-one or potentially come to a future event, then you can reach out to me directly or follow me on Instagram, whatever works for you.
Wait, okay.
Excellent.
All right. Now, thank you, Barbara, for being our guest today. We are very grateful, and we love that we can share your product and your experiences with our audience. Now, if you believe in amplifying women's voices, please hit subscribe and join us every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram for updates and behind the scene moments. If you want to be a guest, please DM or email us at hello@ttransitions.com. Thank you, Barbara, again for being part of our community. Keep showing up as yourself, and until the next time we talk.
Thank you so much to
Ciao.
both of you.
Guys, in our next episode. Bye.
Bye.